Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de just a few items I will wax nostalgic about already, about the period from 2020 through 2022. The whole we're still paranoid about COVID times. No, I'm not entirely serious, of course, just a bit of tongue-in-cheek fun, really. Hey, XenPuck here. So first things first, of course, I'm glad COVID is just some kind of additional code flu kind of thing that we all have to deal with from now until the end of time. Okay? For realsies, I'm totally serious. Of course I'm glad. Nobody misses the uncertainty of whether COVID's gonna get any of us or even worse. It could get the people that we love. I don't miss that. But at the same time, I do love being a devil's advocate. And now, almost a whole year has passed since basically nobody cares about COVID anymore. I thought it's not too early to talk about the things that I actually kind of miss that happened during that COVID era. I mean, that disease deserves the era phrasing, right? Not goddamn Taylor Swift. Okay, come on. T-Swift just does concerts. That's like one city at a time for maybe a year. But COVID was literally everywhere, everyone, all at once for like 2 to 3 years globally, right? Depending on where you live. COVID is real. Taylor Swift, flash in the pan. By the way, have you guys actually had COVID? I don't even know if I have had it, right? I mean, we've gotten the shots and somehow resisted turning into a crocodile like that Brazilian moron of a dictator implied. That's very sad. I mean, I wish I gained the power to turn into a crocodile. Oh well, guess it wasn't meant to be. But seriously though, I have no idea that I've even gotten COVID beyond the mild version that I assume the vaccine shots simulate for us. So while these days I feel pretty safe, with the possibility of getting COVID, I can't help but still cross my fingers since I decided to rant about the COVID era and somehow the divine won't punish me with a sprinkle of the vid just for kicks. Because, the gods are all assholes. That is the universal truth, isn't it? Anyway, if you enjoy some random rants from a dude with clearly no production skills, like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. Well, I'll be great regardless, because I just do these for fun. Hit that bell icon. I don't know where that is, somewhere below, okay? But people who watch YouTube surely knows better than me, right? Okay, point number one. The COVID era was the perfect excuse to do absolutely nothing sociable, right? And to just relax at home. It was an introvert's paradise. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nobody's a 100% introvert or extrovert. I do like people, I enjoy hanging out with friends, just a few of them at a time though. Maybe I don't exactly want to hang out with literally 0 people, but that was never the case even during COVID. We still saw people, but maybe just like twice a year instead of twice a month, right? And there was more of an interrogative aspect to it before we saw anybody, like you gotta make sure everyone's comfortable with each other's vaccine status or whatever. And I get that some people definitely ignore that part, and I'm not judging, right? All I can say is I care about vaccination status because we were wedding planning during half of the COVID period, and there was no way I was gonna change the health of my 100-year-old plus grandma. Okay, that's all. Frankly, I always thought I'd be fine personally, but I still would do whatever I could, not remotely, affect the health of my senior citizen grandma. Okay, so yeah, for the people who didn't believe in the vaccine or whatever, I hope you don't have any relatives that you love that's old. I mean, good lord, that was a tangent, but hopefully you get it right. COVID made it okay to just hang out as selectively as you'd like, with a global pandemic as cover, right? No need to make any other type of excuses if I don't want to hang out with someone, right? Safety trumps all. Now, point number 2. There was an almost Zen-like reduction of life back to the basics during this period. Now, I know this one's probably the most subjective opinions. Certainly not everybody falls into the group. I get it, but just for my wife and I, we started cooking and baking, really just stopped buying a lot of stuff that most people thinks of as needs but are actually wants, right? Clothes is a great example. I'm pretty sure during the COVID years, we tossed way more clothes than we bought. That's not to say that I didn't buy any clothes. I did, mostly for playing pickleball, like athletic socks and tank tops and such. But that type of clothing is literally nothing compared to the cost of, work or office wear, right? And that's just in clothes. I guess a counterpoint could be, well, we did buy, let's say, video games because those were the little bit of entertainment options that were still available during those lockdown times, right? But I am a lifelong gamer, so that's not really extra cost to me. I probably would have bought a lot of video games regardless, and COVID just served as a great excuse to justify that type of entertainment purchase, right? Almost every purchase, though, was more about necessities, because none of us knew how long the economic shutdown would be, right? What a strange world that seems. Even just a year past that period, I do miss it. It's almost like consumerism itself went on a hiatus, and nothing really but that type of global pandemic could really have accomplished that, right? Try to think of any other circumstance where everyone around the world just stopped shopping. It's hard. And finally, the thing I missed about the COVID era, minimal contact with other people meant like basically zero contagious diseases. Seriously, I didn't even really appreciate this until I started traveling again, in the post-COVID times, right? I mean, I'm in the US, and even domestic travel here takes me as far from my own city as most Europeans do when they cross borders, right? So my example was I went to New York City recently and I came back with a cold like immediately afterward. Now, that seems about right. I mean, I definitely have never had the strongest of constitutions, so it was always a pain in the butt to get a cold or a flu maybe twice a year on average, right? For me personally. And I really did not miss that during the COVID 3 years, right? And to look back and be like, oh my God, I cannot remember the last time I felt unwell. And finally realizing, it is true, I guess, we get colds from other people. Makes me even more introverted. I mean, I knew there was a reason I mostly wanted to avoid other people. It's just ironic that I do mostly identify as an urbanite, a New Yorker, right? So it's not like I mind being in a crowd. I just distrust the dirtiness of other people. I guess COVID taught me, yep, it is those people that get me sick. At least I know now how to prevent it, right? Well, what I could do is just keep wearing masks in public spaces. Easy, except, I don't know, peer pressure, because no one else is doing it these days. I definitely don't wear masks in public anymore, even though I know its benefits. It's okay, I'm retired. I'm okay with being laid out for 2 weeks out of 52 or whatever. Such is the price I pay to not look like a dork in public, right? So, would I trade the whole not getting sick, saving money, and justified introversion for the much better freedom to travel and consumerism now that we're back to normal? Actually, yes, right? Sure, I might miss individually those items that I mentioned, but frankly, I would prefer to have more options back on the table. After all, I could just be masking to prevent diseases, like I mentioned, right? Or continue my anti-consumerism thread, even when it's not popular, right? So the good things about the COVID era can continue. It just takes a bit more explicit effort. So yeah, all kidding aside, I'm glad the world is back to normal-ish, all right? But that doesn't mean that I can't pretend like there weren't any silver linings even during the worst of times, right? Cheers. I'll approach it.